congratulations. You did a very lovely job in this film. I really like this movie. And I wanted to know, first of all, especially being from Ireland, what connected with you immediately when you read it?
I mean, more than it being about Ireland or America or anything else, it was really her journey of having to be away from home, not feeling like she was at home anywhere. And then also falling in love and then things getting complicated. I think that everybody's experienced that, and I just knew that Saoirse would do an incredible job as well. You know, it was very clear to me that she could do something special with it. So they were the things that I kind of liked about it. And then the director, I like did Boyer, which is a brilliant film and stuff. So I was a fan of his too.
Yeah. So, you know, being displaced, and especially being an actor, you're a bit of a nomad. There's no question about it. So, you know, what is kind of home for you?
Dublin, always. And you make little temporary homes wherever you go, but like really, you know, whatever they say, home is where the heart is, and you know, my family and friends are in Dublin, so that makes Dublin my home. So
you get to go home there a lot?
Do you want to do that again? That was awful.
It's been a long day.
Look, it's been a long day for me too, but you don't see me garbling my shit like that. Come on. Let's get this together.
I know, I'm so sorry.
We'll go again.
The apologies are profuse. I'm so sorry. Do you get to go home a lot?
I do, yeah. No, I get to go home like a pretty fair amount, and I've just been at home for like 3 weeks, and it's been brilliant. I worked for almost a year straight, which was too much, I think, and I'm loving home at the moment.
Well, no, not too much as far as I'm concerned. You've given us some really good stuff.
That's really nice of you to say.
Stuff.
Thank you.
Let's just talk about little Saoirse Ronan. I mean, really?
Little Saoirse Ronan.
I mean, this girl.
She just looks short because she's on the poster back there, that's all.
But she's just lovely. I mean, seriously, working opposite this young lady, wow.
Yeah, it's funny, you know, a lot of people are asking and saying, well, it's her first time really playing a woman. And like, all I've ever seen with Saoirse, apart from her being so nice and so great and everything, is just a great actress. And she was that way on Atonement. Yeah. And the only thing that's changed is that I think she's gotten better. So, I knew that it would be a treat to work with her.
Yeah.
I had a feeling.
Well, what impressed you most about just working with her? I mean, not a ton of scenes, but...
No, that was the thing. There wasn't a lot, but that was what made it worth it. Was like, well, it won't be a lot, and it'll be a kind of a weird job to do, to come in at the end and try and convince somebody that maybe the relationship that's been built for an hour isn't right. Like, that's a strange way to do things. But I knew that those scenes would be with her. And in terms of what impressed me the most, it's hard to put your finger on it, isn't it? I think that just her openness and her generosity to whatever's happening in a scene,
right,
is brilliant, and that's what you look for in most actors, I think.
And you know, her character has such a dilemma. I mean, he's two, you know, pretty not bad-looking guys that she's got to pick from. Okay, like I don't know, I would have had
Let's
a tough
not talk
time.
about Jim Broadbent like that, okay? The man doesn't like to be objectified, and that's your problem.
It is my
leave
problem.
That out of it.
It absolutely is my problem. But seriously, you know, being torn between two amazing lives, you know, one in New York, one in Ireland.
But both of their problems too. I mean, I found myself wondering at the end whether either was right for her.
Yeah.
Not which, but either, if either was right. And I wonder if maybe she's just too young, and really what she should be doing is meeting more people. I mean, that was kind of a weird, that's the first time I've said that today, actually. That was a weird feeling that I had at the end of it. But just because you have a choice to make does not mean that either is the right choice. That's a very grown-up notion, I think, and something that she does brilliantly in the film, and that they form brilliantly in the film.
Well, it sounds to me like you've maybe had this problem before. Not maybe with love or whatever.
No, yeah.
But just even, hey, we've got 2 phenomenal scripts for you. And they're
What
shooting
are
at
they?
the...
Is this a real thing?
Okay, well, hello, Star Wars and Wild
yeah.
West. You know, I mean, if you had to chosen between I mean, you're being offered to Ex Machina. I mean, honest to goodness, when you get your scripts now. But what happens if you would have gotten 2 phenomenal, you know, at the same time? And it's like,
difficult.
How do you choose that?
That's difficult. That's difficult. And I don't know. You just have to go with your gut instinct. But then you also make bad decisions. And sometimes you look back and say, well, neither of those was the right decision. They're all real things which happen to real people all of the time. And it happens in every part of your life, so your love life is not going to be any different.
Yeah.
And I just think it's a really interesting thing to have in a film, you know.
So how do you choose your roles now? Like, what is the thing that stands out for you
It's
most?
all about the money.
Well,
you know, I think mostly I say, well, how much are we talking? Double it, add a 0, and then maybe I'll get out of bed.
Is that something that your dad taught you?
Yeah, he's always been that way. You can tell. You look at his career. I mean, you look at his career.
Yeah, you look.
He didn't do In Bruges for the art.
No.
Let me tell you that.
Yeah, yeah.
He did it for the
cavalry,
spondulix. Spondulix. Haven't used that word for a while. Spondulix.
I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I just think whatever you're drawn to at that time, and if it's something you haven't done before, then it's probably worth checking out. I think they are things I've learned from my dad.
Yeah. I just want to talk about Ex Machina again, because that one just blew me away. Like, what was that? It didn't look, when you're watching it, that it was so difficult, but I think you might have had a hard time with that.
Yeah, that was a difficult process.
Yeah.
But it was always worth it, because I knew with a script like that and a director like that and the cast, and I just knew that it had a chance of being great. That's what you want from films. There's the possibility of it being great, because it'll never be a promise, because those promises are broken. But it's a possibility, and I knew Ex Machina had the possibility, and I'm really happy that it worked out well. So that was kind of what kept it going when it was tough.
If you could move to or relocate to a country, any country in the world for a year, where would you want to live?
If I could speak French, I would like to live in Paris for a while. If I could speak American.
You can speak American pretty well.
I would. I do like New York an awful lot. Yeah. I do like New York a huge amount. Maybe New York.
That's a great city.
Yeah,
no question.
And I've lived there for a while I was working, but it would have been nice to be there when my nights were free.
Not Canada? Cool. You don't want to come move here in Toronto?
Yeah, my brother lives in Toronto.
Yeah.
I love Toronto.
Yeah.
Toronto's amazing.
Yeah. So it just goes without saying, that's like your second home.
It does, yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, I do. Toronto's brilliant, and my other brother lives in Montreal. Montreal's amazing too. So yeah.
Yeah, it's good. So you've got a couple of teeny films coming out. I just have to address them. But this little Star Wars movie. I mean, as a kid,
I'm so happy someone's finally asked about that.
I'm sure.
It's just been a day of trying to push that thing.
As the journalist in me, you kind of have to. And of course, I'm not asking you to divulge the whole storyline, but just as a fan, probably growing up and watching these films, what is it like for you to be a part of something like that?
My answer to that generally, I think, has been kind of boring and not what people want to hear. My answer to that is that is not how I try to think about it, even though I do every now and again. The only way I'm supposed to think about it is as a job and a part in a film. Not, it's unavoidable that every now and again you wet your knickers a little bit when Harrison Ford walks by. That's a given. But the rest of it, you just have to say, right, I want to be good in the film. Yeah. How do I make a character who might be good in the film? That's just what you try and do. Yeah, so in a way, it's no different to anything else.
Well, I'm sure you did well. And then, wetting your knickers when Harrison Ford walks by, I don't blame you. I probably would do the same thing.
The man is amazing.
Yeah, you just have to have spare knickers on you.
Yeah, please don't wet my knickers. No. I can do that by myself.
Okay, no problem. Yeah. Always a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much. And
Thank you very much.
Best of luck.